And that, my friends, is a clutch-ass fourth quarter, big-time onions performance by future all-star, boy f***ing wonder, Tyler Herro. Send that man to the all-star game. What more needs to be said? What more needs to be shown? He basically saved my night because I got to be honest with you. If I had to go to bed tonight with another lost lead, understood, showed guts to come back with the way this went, but if it was another lost lead and Goga Patatse stuffing Bam in a locker, if that's how my night would have gone, it would have been one of those where like you're tossing and turning all night because I really don't know what Goga has over Bam. Like this is some mental warfare, rent-free ownership that he has up in that head right now. But thankfully, on the back of Boy Wonder and Alec Burks, the Miami Heat victorious in one of their biggest wins of the season. Even with the Orlando Magic being shorthanded, the Heat didn't have Jimmy Butler, obviously, with all the drama they're dealing with. That should be back. The word is he's going to be back for the Atlanta Hawks game, so that'll be certainly a great sign for the afternoon game. But they needed this one, man. Man, did they need this one, and needed a moment like that. So many of these feel like they've gone the other way for the Miami Heat this year, and it felt like it was just about to happen again. You know, they looked like they had this one in hand. Alec Burks gets the rebound off of a miss. He's then getting basically plowed out of bounds. They don't give the timeout to Eric Spoelstra. Offensive foul goes the way. It was some weird foul calls tonight by the ref, both sides. And you're like, I can't believe this is the way it's going to. Like, are you kidding me? And then they throw up the lob. They miss it to Goga Patatse. But because Bam was going for the block, there's really nobody there. Only Alec Burks is there, so they're all scrambling. Ball, I don't even, did it hit? Whose hands did it hit? It goes in. Heat are down 88-87. Orlando back on top, and you're just sitting here. And I just gave out the loudest, fuck, in my living room while watching the game. Thankfully, Bam Adebayo gets it inbounds to Boy Wonder, who gets right to that sweet spot in the mid-range game, and it was cold. Right there, dude, just touching net. The Miami Heat went up 89-88. Suggs did get a good look, but it looks like it got off late. He rimmed it in and out. Eric Reed saying that he's no longer Boy Wonder, he's Man Wonder. I couldn't tell if Tyler liked that or not. It's a workshop. We'll workshop it. I don't know if Boy Wonder just seems so more superhero-y than Man Wonder. But listen, tell you one thing. That was a man shot, as the great John Calipari says with Tyler Herro. The kid's got elephant balls. He lives for those moments. You know, the only thing you're hoping for is that you get to see some of these big ones once again in the postseason, a healthy postseason for Tyler Herro. But he was absolutely clutch. Hit a huge three that put the Heat up 5. He had a big-time fadeaway where he was clutch, just getting to his comfort zones. I mean, it was a sloppy Joe's game, dude. Turnovers galore in this one. Let us take a little looky-loo at the final box score, because the way the ball was getting kicked around left and right in this one was I don't know if it's a sight to behold, because it was an ugly one. I mean, it was an ugly one back and forth. Today, you had Miami with 21 turnovers and Orlando with 23 turnovers, 28 and 25 points off turnovers, respectively, for both teams. It was crazy. But listen, I mean, Orlando got off to this crazy lead. You know, the game gets off to this insane start for them. You're just like, did these guys, I'm like, did Bam and Tyler like stay at It's a Small World? Like, what the hell? What is going on here? I mean, it was unbelievable to see the kind of bad game this got off to. 14-0 deficit after Tristan Da Silva gets a bucket. And immediately I'm just thinking to myself, Spo needs to pull a pop here and just like, all the starters, sit your ass down. It was crazy seeing how poorly it started. But Miami, honestly, man, like it was really the insertion of Jovic and Terry Rozier that kind of got things balanced out a little bit and settled things down. And Nico was getting teammates involved. You had Rozier, you had Jovic find Highsmith for a three. Highsmith had a weird game today, man. Highsmith was like, he threw like 2 pick sixes. He had one go off of his hands. He was no first prize either with taking care of the basketball, but yeah, Jovic really got people involved. He found Highsmith for a three, and then you had Rozier finding Jovic for a three to get Miami back in, and then Herro gets on a little runski. And so Miami ends up like weathering the storm. They cut it to 9. It's 31-22 at the end of the first quarter. You're like, all right, pretty great. Then, dude, I'll tell you one thing. The one thing that was great to see with today's game that may go unsung because it wasn't in the most clutch moments, but he had some balls plays today, and that was the play of Jaime Jaquez Jr. Triple Jota going out there. My frames are going down. They're just swooning at the idea of what Jaime Jaquez was performing today, but he was just very aggressive. He had his 3-point shot going today. I think it's the first game that he's had 3 3-point makes in a game today. He was beautiful. What a performance by Jaime today. 15 points. He was 3 of 5 from downtown. Got to the free throw line 4 times. 5 steals. 5 steals. And had probably had the sequence of the game up until the game winner today, because in the fourth quarter brought Miami to within 1 because there were turnovers all over the place. As we mentioned, the numbers were wild. Terry Rozier had a turnover, and Jaime Jaquez did not give up on a play. Blocks Corey Joseph from behind. Then Highsmith gets the next one, and then he goes from Jaime Jaquez Jr. and fuses in morphs, dude. Triple J with the triple tray and gets Miami to within a score, 76-75. Magic take the timeout. The bad news out of this, though, in the aftermath, a little beforehand, you had Niko Jovic landing on his left ankle bad. He ended up leaving the game. Nico's gone through hell with that ankle, dude. I mean, he really has. I mean, that left ankle is what hurt him in the Olympics. It's what he re-hurt in practice, and now he has that being an issue again. So you're very hopeful that the Serbian Terminator will make his comeback, and it'll be a quick one because, man, he played great today. I just love I love what he just brought to the table from an energy standpoint. Flying all over the place. Really lifted Miami, who just came out of this game dead in the water. But this game would not have been won and could not have been won without the shooting and the offensive performance of Alec Burks. Alec Burks in this game today, right out of this timeout, he hits the go-ahead jumper and was absolutely huge. Then you have a weird situation where Jalen Suggs does the crane kick nearly into Terry Rozier's Scary Terry, and they challenge it, unsuccessful. Miami gets it back, and Burks hits another big-time shot, a 3-ball that grows Miami's lead, and really just kind of gives them that space a little bit in the fourth quarter. And you knew that like shots were going to be at a premium. I mean, they were going off this. Dude, you could not have. It was really crazy. You could not have a more helter-skelter back and forth fourth quarter with how this was going. Really, really just all around. These teams played very, very tough. I mean, Orlando today, what did they hit? 5 from down. They were 5 for 29 from downtown. Jalen Suggs started 2 for 2 from 3. He missed his next 9. And nobody else hit multiple threes for them. So the idea that Miami was in a dogfight this entire game just shows you how hard that team plays. But you look at them today, man, 12 steals for them, 14 steals for Miami, 6 block shots apiece on both sides. But ultimately it was Tyler Herro with the clutch basket, finishes with 20 points. Suggs, the game-high scorer, with 29 points for the Orlando Magic. And, yeah, Miami needed this just in the worst way. You tie them in the loss column. You got all these games in hand against them. They're 15. Miami's now 15-13. 2 big road games coming up here on the trip. Orlando, you had to get that one back. if Miami would have rolled over like this one, like if you would have rolled over the way this game started, man, that would have been so disappointing, especially with like the whole idea, not to bring it back to the Jimmy thing, because I don't want to, we've done enough on that, but like, Pat Riley makes a statement, we're clearing distractions. Like, all right, you cleared distractions, and that's the effort you came out of the gate with. So, and really, and look, to be fair, like to get this type of a win, and, I mean, Bam was a ghost today, especially on offense. I mean, his numbers today, 2 of 10. He had a good rebounding second half. He had 1 rebound in the first half, where the Heat were getting out rebounded by 10. 4 turnovers today for Bam. Tyler had 6. I mean, like I said, it was a bit of a crazy game, but he did finish with 5 blocks. So, his effort was there much better in the second half, but I mean, the dude couldn't hit water if he fell out of a boat, and a lot of it is with this Goga Batadze. I it's very weird with Bam, man. Like we saw this year, like you think about like that dude just going at Anthony Davis and just like proving a point, and yet like Goga Batadze, Jakob Poeltl, like these guys like have him in hell this season, and I'm just like, what? Why, dude? Like, not that they're bad players, but you're a better caliber player, and it's just odd, the guys that have given him fits. I think back to who the hell, Nurkic. Like, it's strange, man. It's like, dude, you give better efforts against Joker than you do against these guys. This is crazy. It's another story for another day, but certainly to get a win where you did not get an on par game from Bam, a very very poor production game from him, especially from the offensive side of the ball. Crazy. Duncan Robinson gave you a goose egg today. 0 for 3, played under 18 minutes, finished with 0 points, a donut for him. Kalel, he had the one sick ass lob. He didn't pop today. He didn't really make that big of an impact either. So, but look, this is, look, I know this was not an offensive game either. I would imagine there's very few games far between, maybe more for the Magic, but there's not many games that both teams are scoring under 90 in today's NBA. That's not a very common sight. And I think it still shows something for the Heat. They out-dogged probably the toughest team in the league from a dog mentality. Like, Orlando's tough, man. I mean, if this Orlando team doesn't have your respect with all the way they've been playing without Paolo all year, with now out Franz, Jalen Suggs probably trying to play outside of himself of what he is supposed to be, and really doing a great job of it, and willing his team and what they're getting from Batadze and Wendell Carter, and they're just they're a team that's got to have your respect as a Heat fan. Gone are the days of just brushing aside the Orlando Magic. This is going to be a hell. Imagine this being a playoff series, man. I mean, like that's going to be that's going to be a fun ass matchup, especially if you get Banchero, Wagner, and we get a Jimmy Butler in one of these matchups too. So, but for now, Miami just had to get this one taken care of, and they did, courtesy of Tyler Herro, getting it done. Needed it. Send this man to the All-Star game. It's enough already. He deserves it. He is very, very clearly worthy of going to the All-Star game. What more needs to be said? He needed a moment like this. We've seen some crazy comebacks, some crazy performances, and it's always come up short. He gets one today that he could, add to the resume as far as game winners are concerned. So great job by Tyler Herro. Great job by Alec Burks, Jaime Jaquez, Jovic, everybody for dogging this one out and getting one. They needed this win badly.